Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Redbird Replay. This is Scott Kirker, along with John Rebholz. John, we come into tonight's game with a 2-1 record. We're 1-0 in Middle Illini. We're playing an East Peoria team that comes into tonight 0-3, and we'll talk a little bit later with Nick Dolinsky. But East Peoria is a little bit better than what what their record shows so far. They've played tough with Geneseo. They've played tough with Peoria Central, and they gave Washington a pretty good game. You know, the score really doesn't indicate how well they played against a pretty good Washington football team.
And some good-sized kids, and some kids that is underclassmen last year. When Michael Thompson, their running back that they've lost for the season, he was playing up. They filled in for him really well, and so they got good reps.
Yeah, and you know, Washington, you know, they're a lot of people think that they're going to contend for the Middle Illini title. But East Peoria was able to move the ball up and down the field against them last week. And so, you know, they've been able to move the football. And I think tonight, offensively, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for our defense. But I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to step up to that challenge.
Our defense really started to find its identity in the South Elgin game 2 weeks ago. Really swarmed the ball very well, carried that over into Canton. Just need to keep that going tonight.
We'll take this time out, and when we come back, we'll talk with Metamora sophomore coach Kurt Ryan. Welcome back to East Peoria. We're joined by sophomore head coach Kurt Ryan. Coach, off to a pretty good start this year so far.
Yeah, off to a 2-1 start. Played well in a couple games this year. Played really well in our last game, beating Canton 47-0. Had a lot of good offensive efforts and a lot of good defensive efforts, a lot of good plays by a lot of players.
I thought your offense especially has some very good offensive players. You have your offensive line has done a real nice job, and your running backs have done a real nice job. You had a blow when you lost Brendan Knocktree.
Yeah, lost him. Well, he got hurt in the second play of the South Elgin game, hurt his shoulder, which he thinks he can be able to come back in a couple weeks. Trying to, you know, the doctors say, and he says he's now throwing the ball, and you know, he's been running with very little pain. But Cal Uricki really stepped in and played, got put in a kind of a tough spot in week 2, but then got a good full week of practice and came out strong and performed well against Canton Tuesday night. And
that doesn't really change the way you call a game either, does it, offensively? You're still going to do the same plays and run the same kind of offense you did when you had Brendan Knocktree back there, won't you?
Well, that's, I mean, one thing that I think we've done for years and years there at Metamora, everybody gets a lot of reps. I mean, it doesn't matter in camp, in Hell Week, beginning of the week, or in the playoffs. Everybody gets a lot of the same amount of reps, so people know the plays and, you know, just kind of get plugged in and, you know, and play.
I do the chains of the sophomore games, and the one thing I guess it's always been kind of a I don't know. I don't want to say kind of the Metamora way, but it seems like no matter who you stick in there, they always seem to make a big play, and it really frustrates a lot of other coaches from a lot of other schools. Just the fact that you're able to stick, no matter who gets hurt, you're able to stick players in there, and they're able to make big plays.
Well, I mean, it's kind of been this way at Metamora long before I got here. I mean, Metamora is kind of a football town, and kids love to play football, and we get a lot of kids, you know, all the kids that come out to play really like to play, and nobody likes standing on the sidelines. You know, kids like to go out and play.
Yeah, and I've noticed that over the years. Defensively, I thought you guys have really stepped it up last week against Canton, who is a very good team. You know, that's one of their best teams they've had in a while, one of their best classes.
Well, they were 2-0, and you know, with undefeated, obviously, and had one of the big kids that played up in the varsity kid, definitely the biggest kid on the field, played, you know, virtually the whole game against us. And, you know, our center, you know, I asked Blau about it, you know, what it was like blocking him, you know, play after play. And he goes, well, I really didn't like it, but, you know, I thought I did a pretty good job. And he did. And, you know, defensively, them guys did well. At linebacker, kind of changing our defense a little bit. Giesler and Johnny Reb played well. Mason stepped up and had some nice plays. But in our secondary, you know, getting Eric Inman back, we lost him after week 1. Having him back there, he's him and Jimmy at safety and free safety. And we got
Jimmy Salmon.
Yeah, pretty good corners. Or, you know, they're pretty two fast guys that like to really come up and hit too.
The one thing I thought that really stood out is, your defensive line's, got some pretty good size, and all of a sudden you come in with a little number, 27 as a nose guard.
Yeah, just
a little white.
Just another whitey. That's what they do. They play nose guard and just like to mix it up. He was back in the defensive backfield at first, and we got some really good players back there. I think with Patterson and Bailey and some of the other corners, and Ryan, he just kind of feeling his way back there. And of course, he asked about playing nose guard, and he's kind of small, but actually, I ran into his dad at the gas station, and I said something about it to him. He goes, "Oh, stick him in there. He likes mixing it up." So I got okay from his dad from the gas station to put him in there, and he really did well. And Austin Durr really stepped in and played well. Nate McGuire, who started the first game, got hurt in the Elgin game, but them two have really did a good job last week.
Pretty nice firework display going on here before the start of this game. We're just a few minutes away from the start. The other thing I've noticed too is this year you've probably punted more than you've punted in years past.
Well,
yeah, what is that, Kurt? Come on.
Well, when you have to, you have to.
You
of
never
course, we'd
punted
rather
before.
not. But we did get one long fourth down pass the other night. Cal rookie threw a nice pass to, of course, Eric Inman, who's got it twice for us this year. But unfortunately, one of them we thought ended the season landing on his knee. Who gets hurt on a fade route, landing on his leg.
We touched on it a little bit earlier about Cal Uricki, but you really have to be happy with the progress he's made, stepping in, filling in for an injured Brendan Knocktree.
Yeah, he's a quiet kid who just really doesn't say a whole lot back, but you can tell he's got a lot of intense energy inside him, likes to be coached, likes playing the quarterback position, and he's got really good athletes around him. At fullback, Sichler definitely had his best game of the year. Was probably stopped at the line of scrimmage or a yard or two, and won, couple 2 and 3 efforts here, scored a touchdown, tip pass, made, catches a pass out of the air.
Picked up a big first down on that play.
Yeah, on our first drive. So, he's got good kids around him.
And you can tell he's getting a little bit better each and every game. I'm talking about your fullback, getting a little bit better each and every game. He's getting, he's starting to see where those holes are going to be, and that's big for the Metamora offense, isn't it?
Well, and plus he's also got a Hall of Fame coach, and Coach John Helmick working with him every day, with his depths and his drops and his rolls, and that's what he does. So I'd say he's got a pretty good teacher helping him. Yeah,
now how has that been? You got, like you say, Hall of Fame coach John Helmick's come back, and now he's helping you at the sophomore level.
Yeah, well, he's, since being around Coach Helmick, he just obviously loves Metamora, loves the game of football, loves coaching kids. I don't think it really matters what level, he's doing it at. You can tell he's just out there every day, excited and, ready to coach football.
Well, thanks a lot for coming up tonight, and we'll see you at home Monday night against East Peoria.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Kurt.
Welcome
to the Nick Nolinsky Show. Coach, here we are, week 4 already. Hard to believe we're in week 4 of the season, doesn't it?
Well, it's gone pretty quickly, and we had one real long week, and that kind of took up a lot of our time, but we played real well the last 3.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about East Peoria. They come in, they've been, they're 0-3, but they've played some teams pretty tough. They played a pretty tough Geneseo team to 7-0, I believe, going into the 4th quarter, and they've just kind of fallen on some hard times, some bad luck, but they're probably a little better than their record indicates.
Oh, for sure. And they went through the injury with the Thompson kid to begin the season, so I think they're trying to find what they wanted to do, once they lost him. And they're starting to get things a little better offensively, for sure. They put up a lot of yards on Washington last week, and, the score kind of looked a little more lopsided than if you watch film and watch possessions. So they've actually, they've been in a lot of football games, and they went down and they made that game close early. And but Geneseo, they definitely hung with them. But they're got a lot of big kids. They dress out real well. They're physical. You could tell they've been in the weight room. In the Central game, they got a few plays that kind of snuck up on them before they realized where they were at. So, they really get after it defensively. Offensively, they want to run the football at you, and they throw some bubbles and some jailbreaks. And they do a real good job of utilizing their personnel.
for Metamora. We come into tonight. Injury-wise, I think we've done all right. And I think our offense is starting to kind of come around a little bit too. I think Brian Burke's getting a little bit more comfortable at quarterback, and I think some of the other players that are experiencing their first varsity game situations, they're starting to kind of come together, aren't they?
Yeah, we've talked about problem solving as one of our big keys, and we've been talking about week in and week out. And, you got a bunch of juniors that are involved, and a couple seniors that are. Murph got a lot of playing time last year on the offensive line, but he's in a new position. So it takes a while for them front guys to gel, and the tight ends are all new. So there's a lot that goes into that. So, we're patient with them. We felt we were a little behind going into last week. And we played well and we executed well against Canton, but there's some things we had to get better at, and that's for sure. And this defense is definitely better. It's going to definitely give us a challenge on our offense to kind of see where we're at, because we've struggled with some big kids in the interior with South Elgin, and then even 77 from Canton last week gave us some issues. So we got to make sure that we're getting better each week. And Brian and Andrew both did a real good job last week of running the offense when they were in and making the right decisions. And it's a process, with young guys. So we'll just keep getting after them, and we're on them every day in practice to make sure they're getting better.
As far as injuries go, I don't think there's anybody to really report. I think everybody, what's Hoover, probably about another week or so away.
We'll kind of evaluate Ross on Monday. He'll get evaluated tonight, and then tomorrow morning by Dr. Miles and the crew. So we'll kind of see where he's at starting, for Monday. And then, even when he gets back, we'll probably still see a little rotation until he's fully back. So, he's got to get his feet back and get his feet back under him. And, now Brian's actually had more varsity starts than Ross has. So, all those things will be taken into consideration, but, we're going to utilize them all. They all give us something a little different, and gives us a chance to win for sure.
Well, good luck, and bring home a W, and we'll see you next week at home against Dunlap.
Well, thanks.
Well, we're
ready to go, Scott?
I believe we are, Dave. Dave, you're down on the sidelines. You were able to talk to some of the injured players like Ross Hoover and give us kind of an update on where he thinks he's at.
He said it's a little bit sore when he tries to run. When he walks, it doesn't give him any pain, so that's a good sign. Monday, he said he's going to try to practice a little bit. Not in pads, but just try to do some running and do some drop back passing and stuff like that. So.
And when he comes back, that'll just give Metamora a little bit more depth at quarterback. We've already got two right now with Andrew Dixon and Brian Burke, the starter. And Brian Burke is really starting to kind of feel his way into that position, and you can see him kind of getting more and more confidence as the season goes along.
And that the offense is really filled in real well around him.
I think this has been kind of just what the doctor ordered. We've got two teams that we can have some success against. Nothing against a Canton or an East Peoria. East Peoria, it gets a little bit tougher and tougher leading up to that Washington game, Week 8. So, our quarterbacks are going to be able to kind of grow into those positions, get more and more confidence, and by the time that Week 8 comes along, I think we'll be at the top of our game.
Yeah, everybody should be firing on all cylinders at that point. And looking to get people back. We were on top of the press box during the freshman game and watched the team come in, and the first thing you always look at is, okay, who are the walking wounded, the guys in street clothes with the jerseys? We haven't seen that group grow. We came out of the South Elgin game 2 weeks ago in much better shape than we did last year coming out of Week 2.
Yes, we have.
So we're just looking to get kids back.
And Metamora is lining up for the kickoff return. We back deep the two usual guys, Adam Parr, number 14, and number 22, Dakota Durr. And, they've become a pretty good return group for Metamora. And I really think that the defense this year is really starting to kind of gel and come together. You see Kyle Reeder getting better and better each and every week. And I think that's been a big key for Metamora.
Yeah, the pressure up front has been tremendous the last couple of weeks. The linebacking crew with the rotation last week, everybody coming in fresh and bringing something to the package. We're without Blake Mason again for a few weeks, so we'll look for those seniors to lead at the linebacker spots.
I know Dakota's wanting the football a lot more. He did mention that. He's hoping to get some more carries.
And it looks like it'll be Durr on the return.
And there he goes.
And Dakota Durr will bring it out to the 49-yard line where he broke a couple of tackles. That was all Dakota Durr on that. Some nice blocking downfield to get him into the clear. Nice return by the Metamora junior.
Would not allow just one person to bring him down. You're going to have to bottle him up.
Yeah, you got to put a helmet in on him to bring him down quick.
Well, the first thing you're going to notice is number 76 for East Peoria, Robbie Betts. He's a 6'4", 270-pound defensive tackle. He's going to clog up a middle there.
Might be a tough one to move off the block, and he shifts down inside.
They took him right out there.
Nice first down play. You noticed about 4 East Peoria players down on their knees. We really did handle the big boy up front there, didn't we?
Yeah, a lot of white jerseys getting out on the edge and just folding everything in.
He stood straight up. They took him in.
Nice play by Metamora on the first series of downs. Charlie Novotnik leading the middle line in rushing.
McVeigh in motion. East Peoria's offsides. May have gotten a little jittery just seeing a running back go past.
Yeah.
76 looks pretty marshmallowy, guys. You don't
mark
look
that
like
off
he's
against
been away
Metamora.
from that much.
Well, they're going to call us for motion on that play.
He's lined up off sides.
Well, that looks like an awful long 5 yards, doesn't it? So that'll make it a 1st and 15 for Metamora.
Sam Ryan's in it, tight end.
Ryan and Friday. So Coach Ryan went right back to the same call.
Pickup of about 3 yards for Charlie Novotnik. Boy, he hit that hole pretty hard there, didn't he?
Yeah.
We've seen this new set out of Metamora the last couple of weeks where the fullbacks line up deep, the pistol formation. They really like the way the fullbacks get downhill. They get their shoulders squared right away, and they're just straight into the hole.
Chance Turbush out to the near side. Oh, he's got a wall of Metamora blockers in front. And that'll be a Metamora first down by Brian Berg.
Nice read. Good job. Sam Ryan and Feldman did real well on that.
Chad Roth playing wing on the right side. Got a nice seal.
That's something that Chad's improved a lot on since the first game.
I think you could go down the whole line there and say we have improved. And we didn't play badly up front that first game. But you can say each and every player has improved.
Durr back into the game.
It looks like it's probably Novotnik carrying down to about the 20-yard line. Pickup of about 3 yards on the play. Metamora gets those plays in a hurry tonight, haven't they?
Yeah.
Smith and Durr off.
Is this a Bill Belichick trying to get the East Peoria defense tired? That'll be a loss of 1. East Peoria played well on that particular play.
Didn't get a lot of maroon jerseys moved out on that side.
No.
So now you've got, this is that pistol formation with Durr in the backfield.
Oh.
Did we move?
Yep. You know what though? It's gonna be, it's gonna be tough. Get all warmed up and go over there, sit in the cold, and wait 20 minutes. That's pretty tough on the kids, I think.
So I bring up a 3rd and about 13 for Metamora.
Got to get all warmed back up and everything, and so. Jake Smith come in the ball game.
Smith and Turbush split wide.
There you go.
Burke had Smith. Shakes one off.
That away, Burke.
Boy, oh boy, did Brian
Turbush.
Burke ad lib and make a great play hitting to, who was that to?
Turbush.
That
To
was
Chance Turbush.
They came with a blitz from the right side there, and Burke felled it. Got away from it.
First and goal. Just inside the 10.
Big play by the Metamora offense.
Gibson to Novotnik.
That was a good run.
Nice effort by Charlie Novotnik.
Fought for about 3 extra after the initial contact there.
That's a pickup of about 5 yards, isn't it?
Yep. Down to the 4-yard line. So Friday and Ryan at tight end. Roth at wing. Roth goes in motion.
Touchdown, Metamora.
Boy, Brian really ran quick on that.
I tell you, if I'm a Metamora football coach right now and I look out there and I see Brian Burke, the way he guided this Metamora offense, you got to be awfully excited.
He's really growing.
Yeah, he's really growing into this position, and such a nice job to being patient on that blitz on that 3rd and 13 to find Chance Turbush wide open, kind of in that middle of that zone, and big play by the Metamora offense. Big play by Brian Burke.
Andrew Christensen to snap. Jimmy Salmon to hold.
Nice.
Preston Van Meegem is good.
So we have the ball just under 3 minutes. Nice drive, 51-yard drive, 3 minutes. Nice job by the Metamora offensive line. You know, they held
Nice and steady.
Well, East Peoria came with a blitz, and they were able to get enough of the blitzing players to give Brian Burke a chance to get away, and then he makes the play. You know, just a nice play all the way around.
Turbush settled down and came back to him.
This is where Metamora has the biggest advantage in the middle line. When we go out there to kick off, when Austin McVeigh is getting ready to kick off now, you have the offensive line over here making adjustments.
Yeah, they're not just getting a drink and talking about how their day was. They're reviewing everything that just happened and who's picking up who on the next series.
So East Peoria will take over. A ball goes out of bounds, so they'll take over.
Guys too.
35-yard line. Were we offsides? It's out of bounds over there, though. I think that was where they threw the flag, which gives them the ball at the 35, unless they make us kick it over. So East Peoria will come out on its initial possession of the game. They are big up front, but
76 is playing both ways, so that's going to wear them out as the game goes on.
Hafley, 15, the quarterback. Number 10, Hornings, their leading rusher.
But Deathridge got to him, hit him as he was throwing it.
boy, he closed in a hurry, didn't he?
Yeah, sure, he sure did. We're going to have to put pressure on him. Try spreading this out a little bit here. Bowers and Rutherford.
Rutherford makes a nice play there.
Nice. And then the gang tackle afterwards, guys.
I love that. He had defensive linemen in on that tackle. Great job by
Rutherford. He did a real good job on that.
That brings up a 3rd and about 11.
Yeah, good recognition, just knifed in underneath.
$8:30 to go here in the first quarter. Metamora's already up 7-0.
Corning remains the lone back in the backfield with Hafley.
Oh! Wow. Are you kidding me? They did that in the freshman game. We're not supposed to have the same refs.
Kyle Reeder appears to be hurt on the play. Holding the shoulder.
Christensen's coming in for him. That's not good. Looks like it appears he's in a lot of pain there.
So that'll be a first down, pass interference. Nice job again by the Metamora defense. They took the fullback, quarterback kept it, and there was a whole nother group of Metamora defenders waiting for him.
Everybody accountable for a gap. Nice communication up front.
Oh, I believe that was Andrew Christensen. No, that was Chase Scott.
Chase Scott, 49.
And then he had a lot of help.
And Dakota Durr flying up from that safety spot.
Boy, we fly around, don't we? You don't see very many solo tackles.
Big number 2, Adam Summer, checking in for East Peoria. We saw a lot of him at the sophomore level last year. Played very well early in that game, in that sophomore game down here, and then kind of shut it down in the second half when he got hit a lot. They're looking for Summer. Adam Parr in coverage.
Oh, great. Oh, no. Well, that's a referee that's trying to keep the game close right there.
Pass interference call on Adam Parr. Adam Summer, 6'4", 245, tight end, one of the biggest kids on the field. And he can run a little bit. He runs a 400 in the spring, and he got out there in the open, but Parr was stride for stride with him.
That was a terrible call.
Yeah.
Kyle's in a lot of pain.
Well, there's a hold right in front of the referee there, and it looks like maybe they did catch that one because it was so obvious.
That one will go against East Peoria. Brings up a cheer from the Metamora fans. They walk off 10-yard penalty.
I'll bring it back to the Metamora 49-yard line where it'll be first and about 22 yards to go. Boy, that was a big collision there after about a 1-yard gain.
Chase Scott and Dakota Durr again. You can hear the helmets clicking up here in the press box, and with the way the track is set up here at Eastside, we're a long ways away.
Yeah, we are.
Looking for the big receiver again. Parr in coverage.
Now they're going to call pass interference anyway on that. That referee over there, they called about 5 of them in the freshman game, and now they're calling them again.
And that flag was thrown when both players were at about the 30-yard line, and Parr was just running in stride with him.
Now they're calling that against East Peoria.
That was a no call either way. I mean, they're just running down the field.
Unless maybe he pushed Parr on that one.
I didn't see any separation from any contact.
Are they going to take the penalty? Because that would push him back into Metamora or into East Peoria territory. Illegal man downfield. Isn't that what they called there? Isn't that?
May have got a little head start.
Wow.
Okay. We'll bring up a 3rd and very long.
3rd and about 35.
Good time for that defensive line to pin it back and put some pressure on here.
Is that a loss of down too?
McVeigh off the edge. Thrown to Tanner Schofield underneath. Short gain.
Well, they made the quarterback pay for that pass, and now they'll bring on their punt unit. So the Metamora defense bent, but it didn't break, and they face a 4th and a lot. Duran Parr back deep for Metamora.
Kyle has it. He had a small dislocated shoulder. They popped it back in. So he's out for the rest of the game. But he was able to pop it back in. He was in excruciating pain in there, and Miles popped his shoulder up, and it popped in. And he just, you could see him just instantly with relief. They're gonna make him sit out the rest of the game.
Zim, I don't recall. Is that an injury that he's had before?
Nope. I heard him ask him if he's ever hurt his shoulder or separated, and he said nope.
Okay.
So,
It's been primarily concussion issues in the past, right?
yeah, he had that concussion
had
with
some
the
back
cheap
issues.
shot from Washington last year.
So Metamora have its 2nd possession about the 29-yard line.
These refs are going to be a joke most of the night. I didn't see anything on that one.
Could be a long night if those whistles keep blowing. So 1st and 15.
So Andrew Christensen's going to have to step up tonight, and he's capable of that.
Yeah. A lot of reps both sides. Turbush uncovered, waving to Burke on this side. Put it up.
Oh, man.
I do love the recognition on that, though. I do love the recognition.
Burke, all he had to do was just throw it to him, though, instead of leading him.
I think Brian was just trying to remain calm and not give it away.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big play there.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 15 for the Redbirds.
So Turbush remains wide. Gives to Novotnik. Coming off the right side.
They'll bring up a 3rd and about 12 for Metamora.
Zim, I think that offensive line's going to find out real quick. They've got to get on these blocks and stay on them.
Yeah,
These are some big, strong linemen.
Yeah.
This is not a group you're just going to tap and have them go away. Nice job by Novotnik coming back on the block. Sprung Burke.
Oh, and he's going to pick up a 1st down. Great job by Brian Burke once again to pick up the Metamora 1st down.
Chucky Novotnik, fullback on the play. He made the block initially, pushed the guy down on his side, and then when he came back, got him blocked again, and that just sprung everything to the outside.
And Burke's got some elusiveness that I haven't seen in the past. I'm really proud of this here.
Well, he knew how much he had to get for the first down, and he got it.
Givison and Novotnik up the middle. Little or no gain there. Got another slow one to get up there. Is that Dallas?
I think he got the wind knocked out of him.
It looks like his ankle. McGowan will be coming in for him.
67, Dallas Garrison is a lineman down on the play. They're going to take an injury timeout on the field, get him checked out.
Wow, this, I think Scott jinxed us by talking about the lack of injuries. Oh boy.
Group of sophomores there to help Dallas off. 62, Ryan McGowan checks in at right guard. Now Brandon White in at tight end. Ben Friday on the left side. Novotnik and Durr in the backfield with Burke. The give is to Durr. It's good for a couple. Line still in there, pushing there at the end, trying to get a little extra. Brings up third down. Dakota Durr off. Adam Parr checks into the game.
.330 to go here in the first quarter.
Oh,
Give to Adam Parr off the left side. He's got the first down.
great run.
Plus some.
Nice run by Adam Parr.
He did some of that on his own, guys. That speed.
Moves us into East Peoria territory. Gets us down to about the 44-yard line.
Maybe at the end of the quarter, Zim, you can get a report on Dallas Garrison's foot.
Looks like they're messing with his knee.
Back to Burke and Novotnik in the backfield.
Burke keeps.
Burke
There
with
he goes.
Oh, and he ran over a player. That's the pickup of about 11 yards for the Metamora. No, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be a pickup of about 14 yards.
Now the only thing, after what happened in the sophomore South Elgin game, you worry about these quarterbacks lowering their passing shoulder on these guys on these runs. So take care of that shoulder, guys. Turbush uncovered on this side again.
Yeah, they bring a guy over.
There we go. A little quicker recognition.
I believe we rocked forward.
back the Redbirds up 5, 1st and 15.
Got Dakota and Charlie in the backfield. With Whitey and Friday.
Novotnik's still going. He'll pick up about 8 yards on that play.
Like they had him
Second
for a
effort off that
loss,
left
boy,
side.
kept them legs driving.
He's not a big target. He
No.
can get low and get under people's pads and really drive through.
That'll bring up a 2nd and about 6. 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. Metamora driving. Metamora up 7-0.
McVeigh and Roth in at wingback. Give us a Novotnik.
Wow. All right, that's a good sign, seeing Dallas trying to run.
Oh, that's huge. That might be sore in the morning, though.
Now they may have to tape it.
Boy, that's a real good sign. Even though he's got a little bit of a limp.
Third and 6. Burke keeps.
And he'll pick
Picks up
up
a couple.
about 4 or about 2 yards and make it a 4th and about 4 yards to go.
You know, a lot of times when a lineman has a leg injury like that, you'd make the joke, oh, well, it doesn't matter, he wasn't that fast anyway. But
He
for
is
a
fast.
kid that's over 200 pounds, he moves very well.
Yes, he does.
He's 230.
And he
ran a 5 flat, and that's real good for a 230-pound yard. Big play, guys. 4th down. See what kind of call we're going to come up with here.
Pass is complete to Dakota Durr.
Oh, that's
Picks
just
up
a
the first
beautiful,
down.
beautiful play there by the Metamora offense.
They've been doing that for a long time.
I just can't say enough about the play of Brian Burke tonight.
Looks like they're going to tape Dallas up.
Is it an ankle or a knee?
It's his ankle. He's taking his side.
Yep.
He doesn't tape his ankle, so
Oh, that's a big
we're going to get him taped up. Looks like they're going to
play, maybe the
his
second
mom's gonna
quarter.
come down.
That's what a player doesn't want.
Nope. Oh,
Yes,
my gosh.
Dakota
that was
Durr
nice
off
hole.
the left side. Spins into the open.
Touchdown, Metamora. Wow. Dakota Durr and that Metamora offensive line. Wow.
Knees keep churning.
See him do that a couple times, haven't you, John?
Yeah.
Well, I've only seen him for 3 years, and I've seen it.
You've seen it longer than that. You came out and watched JFL once in a while.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Not as much as you should have, but you still came out once in a while.
He,
Adam Bowers come over and check on Dallas.
Snap and hold were good. Kick is good.
Metamora goes up 14-0 with 49 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
A lot of concerned guys are coming over. They're going to tape him up and see if he can go.
Another nice sustained drive there, Scott. What was nice to see, there were a couple flags for some
Procedure.
early offsides, but nothing that delayed us the way we were defensively. The last time East Peoria had the ball,
This is
it was out
very,
nearly every play.
it's a very aggressive East Peoria defense too. Oh, nice kick down to about the 6-yard line.
So
We're going to have a flag away from the play after the whistle. Like J.R. Dixon got
They're going to
mixed
call that
up with
against
somebody down there about the 15-yard line.
They're calling that against East Peoria. That'll back them up even further.
That was a cheap shot. They're known for.
Get you to come out of your shells, Em.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Been watching this for a long time. That's all they teach them over here. From JFL up, these kids just grow up thinking this is okay. Instead of teaching them the right way, they're teaching them to cheat.
So that'll make it a 1st and 10 from about the 11-yard line for East Peoria.
Nice job, nice job.
East Peoria offensively looks like they're trying to spread it out a little bit. Big gaps in that offensive line.
Bowers and Deathridge on that tackle. And Rutherford coming up.
Put another back in the backfield that time to try to give Hafley a little help.
And Ryan Otto is getting with his linemen, going over the missed blocks and what they can do to do better on the next drive.
That'll be the end of the first quarter. Metamora will take a 14-0 lead into the second quarter. Guys, this first quarter offensively, I mean, we're looking awfully good up front, and Brian Burke and the backs are. I guess you could say the only thing Brian Burke hasn't done is connected on a wide open Chance Turbush.
Yeah, and that would have been an exciting one, and Chance would like to see him get that big one. That opportunity may come back because they still don't seem like they're recognizing very well defensively on that.
Well, he just comes off the sideline up to the numbers, and they don't even, they don't huddle, so they don't even look to see out there. So
right.
That might be a little bit of, you're right, that might be a little bit of a surprise to them.
Otherwise, everything is firing pretty well offensively. We need to sustain the blocks a little bit better, drive people off. We saw that a little bit in week one where the linemen would get to their blocks and they wouldn't finish it.
Yeah, and that was probably the only complaint that we had with the offensive line that first week. So,
Dallas is getting up, trying to check it out here.
Just him being able to get up and move around is a lot better than what, we thought when he was carried off the field. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 2 yards to go. So, Zim, is he ready to go?
Yeah, Dallas is going to go.
I noticed Sam Ryan also. Is he having a little trouble with his?
His blood pressure or blood sugar is high, so he had to get some insulin. But he'll be back out there.
Hafley with the keeper right up the middle. Number 14, Adam Parr, chasing him down around midfield.
We have early. So East Peoria moves into Metamora territory down to the Redbird 49-yard line. Where they'll have it 1st and 10. Well, that'll be offsides against Metamora.
Hard count, made him jump.
Yeah.
Bring up a 1st and 5.
That's why you got to watch those feet, not the count.
Big number 2 back in the game as well. Have to account for where he is on the field. Adam Bowers in coverage on Summer. Give was to Horning up the middle. Picked up about 3.
Deathridge filled pretty good on that play, though. He stepped up and filled pretty good.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 1 for East Peoria at the Metamora 40-yard line.
Come on, defense. Oh!
The ball was loose on that
Great
one on
play
the
at
pitch.
Dakota. Dakota and Chase Scott.
Yes.
That almost rolled into us.
Well, you know, Metamora defended that awfully, awfully well.
They did.
East Peoria really looks like they're trying to spread our defense out.
Yep.
I'm not sure why you want to do that.
Not with as fast as we are, no.
I don't think they realize how fast we
fill
are.
gaps very well.
Big play here, guys. Big play.
So East Peoria trips left.
That away, Bowers.
Oh, that's just a great play by Adam Bowers.
And he helps him up after he slams him to the ground. That's the way, Bowers.
That'll bring up a 4th and about 3 yards to go.
Zim, the way the calls have gone in early, you just have to worry about a flag coming out for anything extra. So, yeah, kill him with kindness there after you put him to the ground.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, does East Peoria punt? It looks like they're going to go for it. It's 4th and about 4 yards to go, with just under 9 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter.
Big play, defense, big play. They're trying to get us to jump off sides.
Watch that quick slant.
They're going to take it's going to be a penalty right here. There it is.
They thought they'd get us a jump. We didn't.
Yep, great job by the Metamora defense.
Now the punt team will come on.
You know, he was able to do that earlier in the game, so I really don't mind that call by East Peoria. Give themselves a little bit of a chance.
And we learned.
Yes, we did. Nice job by the guys up front. Boy, that was awfully close.
Very nice pressure.
Dakota
coming
Durr.
up the middle.
Dallas is ready to go, he said. He might set out one more series. Go back in the second series after. He said it feels okay, though.
So good defensive series from Metamora. Brings up a short punt. They take over on the 33-yard line.
Andrew Dixon's coming in the ball game. Quarterback.
Tight formation.
Oh, nice job by Andrew Dixon. He just ran over the safety. Pickup of about 8 yards on the play.
Picks up right where he left off last week.
Whew.
Everybody getting a nice push up front. Quarterback running downhill.
He just ran over a defensive back.
So Roth and Turbush check out. Jake Smith in, split out.
That's got to be on them.
I believe it's offsides on East Peoria.
That's got to be on them.
Oh, they're calling us a false start again.
Are you kidding me? There is no way.
The only
These
thing I can
guys
say
are
is
terrible.
the only thing I can say, Zim, is that maybe our guys, are maybe rocking a little bit, and maybe that's what they're calling.
I didn't see
Got
it
a little
on that.
bounce.
I didn't see that on that time.
So Durr and Novotnik in the backfield. Durr at wing. Dixon to throw. Got Ben Friday.
Oh man. Ben Friday's a big target, and he turned it upfield.
Nice pass. Line held him out good.
Big first down.
Sam Ryan just came back in the game.
Moves the ball across midfield. 1st and 10, about the 46.
Nice job on Friday to finish off that run. He didn't just run out of bounds. He delivered a blow to the East Peoria defender.
Dixon follows Novotnik into the hole off the left side. Picks up another first down inside the 35.
And we're falling forward on every play.
Yeah, finishing everything off at where the tackler makes contact, and we're still getting an extra 1.5 yards, 2 yards. Pushing forward.
Boy, Murphy and Fredericks on this side, and the tight ends, whoever they happen to be at the time, they're just sealing that side off, and they're giving our quarterbacks and our running backs a huge lane to run through.
And that pass thrown Ben Friday's way might be a little bit of a reward for some of the blocking he's done off the edge there too. Fake was to Novotnik. Dixon kept the ball up the middle. I think 2 defenders ran right past Dixon, still chasing Novotnik on that play.
And very well could have. And we still got positive yards on that. It was only a 1 yard gain, but they brought everybody up the middle, and you can't block them all. 6:10 to go here in the first half. Metamora up 14-0.
Novotnik off the right side.
That'll bring up a 3rd and manageable.
Dallas Garrison still not back in the game. I think he was down there lobbying the dock to talk to coach, just say, let him know I'm ready to go.
That's good to see, though, isn't it? He's got a little bit of a limp, but he sure is walking better than when he came off the field.
Yeah, nobody's holding him up. Jake Smith in at wide out.
Oh, boy.
Dixon keeps. Another short gain.
Bring up a 4th and about 3.
Fourth and 3.
4th and 3, Dakota's coming in.
Dakota there, I think we're still short one. Jake Smith checking in.
A little bit of confusion there.
Now we had 11 out there, but there was a little bit of confusion.
5:11 remaining in the second quarter. Timeout Metamora and get everything straight over here on the sideline.
So now you've got Dixon conducting a nice drive with this Metamora offense down the field. Big 3rd down, or excuse me, big 4th down, 4th and about 1 to go, about 2 exactly.
Doesn't have to be fancy here.
No, you just you put it on your lineman's shoulders and say, get us a first down.
Yep.
Well, I got to believe this is going to go to Mr. Novotnik, don't you?
That would be a pretty good bet. Or Andrew Dixon following him right through. And we're both fooled. Pass goes to Dakota Durr. That's good for a first down.
That's who I want the ball in the hands there. And that guy found out what it's like to run into Dakota there.
That's not always the best thing to have happen to you.
number 55 on their team is hobbling after that. They're leaving
Rocky
him out
Boyer,
there, so.
6'2", 225, and he took the worst of it.
Oh my gosh.
Sideline warning on East Peoria.
Yeah. That's just a warning. That's a kind of a needless penalty.
But sometimes it also feels like a needless call when those coaches over there have nothing to do with what's going on this hash.
Yeah. And it's further down. It's not like they're going to, interfere with the play. Oh, nice play to Novotnik.
It's jet motion to Adam Parr, and everybody bit on the fake.
Then McGowan came in and just laid him out, late at the end there, trying to get an extra block.
That is a sweet play. That'll take the ball inside the 10-yard line down to about the 5, where Metamora have it first and goal with 4:29 to go here in the first half.
A lot of weapons there, and East Peoria's defense has to respect that.
Running out of tide here.
Gives Novotnik up the middle.
Touchdown, Metamora.
Guys, he didn't get touched for 5 yards there.
I know it.
He got hit at the goal line, and you're not going to stop him once he's got a full steam.
So that'll push Metamora's lead out to 20-0. Mr. Van Meegum comes in for the extra point.
4:08 on the clock here in the second quarter.
And guys, McGowan's doing one heck of a job because he doesn't play a lot of guard. He starts at the 3 technique, and oh boy. Jimmy Salmon bobbled that a little bit. It's okay. We'll take a 20-0 lead though. That was a nice drive. We've had some nice long drives.
Very nice drive by Andrew Dixon, and boy, that offensive line, Dave, they've just got to be down there awfully excited about that.
These guys are pretty thick. I got to give them that. That 76 hasn't been on defense here lately, though.
No, but he's been playing offense. They started both ways, and I think that's part of the thing is Metamora's trying to just wear him out, and they're starting to wear out some of the other East Peoria players.
I wonder if Jack is related to 64, that Sam Frederick. I wonder if they're related to something. They're both big.
He's a good player too.
Yeah, he's tough. He's pretty tough. He's giving us. We're gonna wear him down. We're gonna wear him down.
Great job by Andrew Dixon.
Nice kick, nice and high.
Down to the 6-yard line again.
Nice hang time from McVeigh there.
Jimmy Beaver.
Oh,
and Brett Lewandowski. That away.
Jake Smith there in the middle of it.
Jake Smith coming in. All right, this is big to stop them before the half here.
Well, we have an early score from Dunlap. Washington 7, Dunlap 8. That's early second quarter, though.
Washington had an early lead there, and Dunlap responded. Had an injury report there as well. Mr. Reel was taken off the field with an ankle injury. Could hurt the Washington offense.
Yeah, look at that, Rick. Look at that.
Dave, they tackled the quarterback. They tackled everybody in the backfield there.
Chase Scott, Deathridge.
I'm real impressed.
White.
I'm real impressed with the defense, Dave, and I'm sure you are too. The fact that there's just no solo tackles. Everybody's.
Nope. It's a gang, man. It's what we want. It's what's taught here.
Bring up a 2nd and 9 for East Peoria.
Hayfling. Adam Parr in coverage.
They didn't call it. That was awesome coverage too.
Is that textbook coverage? Could you say that's textbook coverage, Dave?
Well, his last two were pretty darn good coverage too. I'm not sure how that was pass interference, but this is a big play here, guys. We got 3 minutes. We hold him here.
Well, the nice thing there's him is he didn't back off.
No. Stayed right with him.
He didn't get it in his head. Well, they're going to call me for a flag here, so I better, give this kid a little bit of room. He's still right there with him. It's 3rd and long.
Number 10 was leaning.
Pass is complete to number 8 for East Peoria. That's a big first down. Takes them out near midfield.
Number 8, Sean Mulhorn.
Dakota Durr was at safety, was in coverage there, and he just slipped away, got underneath.
You don't suppose, Dave, that's
Rogers' boy.
Roger Mulhorn went to high school with his dad.
So 1st and 10, East Peoria at the 46-yard line. Give us to Horning. That'll be another first down. Down near the 40.
.250 and counting. Come on, defense. Let's hold them.
East Peoria's looks like they're trying to spread it out a little bit again.
Oh, boy.
That pass is complete inside the 10.
We're going to have to start sending somebody here.
It looked like Parr was there. The receiver even got turned around, went back over his outside shoulder.
Pretty good effort there. Pretty good effort.
Yeah, it was a nice catch.
2:38 to go here in the first half. They are on the Metamora 7-yard line.
East Peoria spreads it out. Give us to Horning. Ball's loose in the end zone.
Metamora got it. Fumble, Metamora.
Big play, nice stick.
Who was the one that stuck
Looked
him?
like Tyler Deathridge.
Tyler Deathridge with the forced fumble. That's a big play by the Metamora defense.
That was huge, guys. So we'll take over on the 20. I think Burke will probably be going back in because they're rotating every other. So
2:25 on the clock here in the second quarter. That was a big drive for East Peoria. Everything clicked real well for them going down the field. Couple big plays. Looked like they were trying to do to us what we did to them going the other way. It was kind of a hurry-up offense. The defenses couldn't get a sub in there.
Dallas is coming back in, and Henry Breitbar is coming in and tackle for Feldman. Give him a little break here.
Burke back on at quarterback. Give us a Novotnik. Nice surge by Chucky after he's wrapped up, still carrying defenders. Metamora
Nice.
right back on the ball.
Come on, snap it.
Clock is running. We're at 2 minutes.
I'll tell you what, they're moving at us. They're gonna make us come back, but they're moving. They're moving at us, and you can't do that.
That defensive line just rocking down on the ball.
Yeah, they're rocking down and they're moving towards us.
So that'll move us back 5 yards.
Stops the clock at 1:55.
That'll start the clock. Look at a 2nd and 9.
Parr and Durr spread out.
This is getting ridiculous.
Someone needs to remind the officials at halftime they're not paid by the hour.
So that'll make it a 2nd and 13. That's 10 yards of penalties now.
Parra split wide left of the formation. Give us to Novotnik.
That's a pickup of about 10 yards.
Little tug on the jersey, regained his balance, picked up another 5.
We haven't ran our double handoff yet.
Clock's running down under 1:30.
It's set up for that right now, Zim.
3rd and 5.
There goes
it is.
Dakota.
That was a
There he
double
goes.
handoff.
Great
There's-
run, Dakota.
There got free up the left sideline. He's crossed midfield. Inside the 40. He got out of bounds, stopped the clock at 1:02. And timeout East Peoria.
Well, that kind of helps. You know, he kind of got hung up there at the line of scrimmage a little bit, but once he got free of that.
He broke contain there, and yeah, there was nobody at that second level. And it was interesting when Dakota broke contain there at that second level. We saw East Peoria defenders' backs. They were looking the other way, so they were still looking, trying to identify the ball, thinking that Novotnik had the ball going up to the right side.
Look at there, Dallas jogging out there, limping just a little bit.
In the second quarter, Washington 7, Dunlap 0.
That's 7 to 8. That's what I just got.
Okay, so the offense back on after the timeout.
1:02 to go. Metamora on the Dunlap 36-yard line, inside the 36-yard line.
So we've got Garrison and Breitbarth back on that right side. Ryan and Friday at tight ends.
They're bringing everybody.
Durr and Parr at wideout.
Oh, it's a little high.
The release Ben Friday from that left tight end spot up the hash.
That was a good
Big
call.
target.
That was a good call. Just a tad high.
I like the play on first down.
Yeah, very nice call.
They were bringing them too.
Take your shot there and complete. Either you're going to have a big completion or incomplete, still stops the clock. Just reset it. So Burt keeps off the left side. One to beat. Spins out of a tackle. Down
Inside the 10-yard line. Wow, what downfield blocking.
He made some nice moves on his own too. That was sweet.
So 1st and goal, 51.1 on the clock. Durr remains in the game at left wing. Gibson to Novotnik.
Look at him
Still driving.
Down on the 3-yard line.
And Metamora will call a timeout.
36 seconds. 36 seconds.
Inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line, Dave.
Yeah, 3-yard line. Boy, Chucky was driving them legs too. They were everything they had to stop it.
Nice turn of events there. Looked like East Peoria was going in for a score. Defense causes the turnover, brings it out to the 20.
And we still got 2 timeouts, so we've got close to. We can probably get 3 plays in.
Well, I think we're probably going to score on this next play, Dave, to be honest with you.
It's possible.
So the Metamora offense, you guys, I think, you know, we're starting to click.
All phases. Yeah, right now when you can go back and look at the film and say, okay, we need to complete that pass to the wide open receiver when nobody's got him covered. Get the tight end up the hash.
Otto's talking to them about their lunging at us on when we're on offense.
Talking to the officials then?
He's just talking to the official.
Okay, 2nd and goal. Gibson Novotnik.
Touchdown, Metamora. What a
That
great,
baby. Pass
What a
going
great
for two.
drive.
That's going for 2. Ran right behind Dallas there. Dallas and Henry, they ran on that side. Big play here. That was a great run by Burke, guys. That was quick.
Metamora going
He's
for
running
2 on
fast.
the play. Burke fakes into Novotnik, rolls left.
2-point conversion. Boy, he
Got
gets
the big target.
Ben Friday.
Sweet.
Nice call.
That a baby. That a baby.
That brings us to 28-0 with 32.8 left in the first half.
And Washington regains the lead at Dunlap, 14-8.
Thought that would be a good one over there. Doesn't sound like it's disappointing yet.
No. And we thought that Metamora would come out tonight and kind of flex their muscle a little bit, and they definitely have. Now, I do give East Peoria credit. They've made us drive the football.
Dallas just jammed his finger. He's pulling it back in, looks like.
He doesn't have to worry about catching the football, so just tape it up and go.
And East Peoria is going to be in a situation in the second half, nothing to lose. So we might see some odd things called on offense and going for it on 4th down in strange parts of the field, taking their shots and trying to get better from it.
All kinds of flags on that play.
Block in the back.
So a penalty on East Peoria. Officials talking to Captain Chase Scott.
He just popped it. Big, can't give anything up. Keep them in front of us.
They will get the ball to start the second half, so we only have 35 seconds to go, 27 seconds to go here in the first half. Metamora up 28-0. Great so far, just a tremendous showing by the Metamora offense and the defense so far.
So East Peoria back on offense. They go to the ground.
Deathridge is having a good game, guys. He had another tackle.
They look content to run out the clock here.
Yeah, that'll be the end of the last play of the first half. Metamora will go in at halftime up 28-7. I think all told, I think you got to be pretty happy if you're a Metamora football coach. Very impressive first half.
Yeah, the downside of the half was the injuries.
So that'll be the end of the first half. We'll be back in just a little bit with the halftime stats and the second half.
And here we are with your first half stats, starting with East Peoria. Petendick has had 2 carries for no yards. Hafley has had 2 carries for 31 yards. Hornung has had 7 carries for 25 yards. They've had a total of 11 carries for 56 yards with an average of 5.1 yards per carry. On passing, Hafley is 6 for 7 for 71 yards. On receiving, Mullern has had 3 receptions for 30 yards. Schofield has had 2 receptions for 6 yards. And Kinsman has had 1 reception for 35 yards. They have a total of 127 yards of offense. They've had 2 rushing first downs, 2 passing, and 2 penalty for 6 first downs, and a total first half time of possession of 10 minutes and 19 seconds. Now for Metamora. Dorr has had 3 carries for 53 yards and 1 touchdown. Novotnik has had 16 carries for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. Burke has had 6 carries for 74 yards and 1 touchdown. Parr has had 1 carry for 14 yards. And Dixon has had 4 carries for 24 yards for a total of 30 carries for 251 yards and 4 touchdowns with an average of 8.4 yards per carry. On passing, Burke is 2 for 3 for 22 yards. And Dixon is 2 for 3 for 24 yards. They've had a total of 4 for 6 for 46 yards. Friday's had 1 reception for 18 yards. Dorr has had 2 receptions for 15 yards. And Turbish has had 1 reception for 13 yards. Metamora has a total of 297 yards of offense. They've had 12 rushing first downs, 4 passing for 16 first downs, and a total first half time of possession of 13 minutes and 41 seconds. Your first half score, Metamora 28, East Peoria nothing.
Welcome back to East Peoria. John, Metamora took that 28-0 lead into the halftime locker room. And we'll get an injury report on Dallas Garrison from Dave Zimmerman in just a few minutes. But I think Metamora's got to be awfully happy. We talked about it before, the end of the first half. But just a tremendous effort by the Metamora offense, defense, special teams, everything.
Yeah, pretty sound, all aspects, running the ball, throwing the ball, people getting open, nice coverage on defense, people swarming to the ball on defense. That started in week 2, and it's carried over these last 2 games. Keep that rolling, and that's trickled down even to the underclass games. We see a lot of red and white jerseys on the ball, so that's becoming an identity of the program.
We're down on the sideline. Hey, Dave,
Yes.
got an injury report on Dallas Garrison?
Yes, mild sprained ankle and possible dislocated pinky. Dr. Miles wasn't able to pop it back in. He only got it to pop just part way in, so he's a little concerned that's possible ligament damage, and so he just wants to go down, get an x-ray, and called a different doctor who will look at it either late tonight or first thing in the morning. So he will be able to, he thinks he will be able to play next week, but we'll see. Kyle Reeder, though, on the other hand, it's possible he may not play next week. Miles said he's got to wait. He said sometimes he said it popped right back in, but he'll know more in the morning. They're going to look at it in the morning.
So if it was Washington, would he tape it up?
Reeder, Miles said he would not let him go back in.
But Garrison?
Garrison, it's very possible, yes.
So it doesn't sound like that injury is real serious. Readers might be a little bit more. But we just have to plug and play. It looks like Andrew Christensen's holding down the court on that side of the defensive line fairly well. And we'll be fine up front with McGowan replacing Garrison.
Dallas Garrison has already left Eastside Center. His parents have taken him out to get checked out. Not a happy kid leaving the track.
When a kid leaves and he's not happy like that, you got to believe that he's probably okay, and he'll be back. Now, Dave, do you think now does this mean that Metamora's probably going to start playing some kids, bringing in the second, third teamers to avoid any other possible injuries, or do you still keep the pedal to the metal?
I think he's going to try to get a score or two because they got some things that they can do to it. So
yeah, I
we got
agree.
to get a couple more scores before they. We've never. The other team usually leaves their starters in, so we want to go for a little bit. But I agree. We don't want to worry about getting somebody hurt. So.
More often than not, he's run with the first group until they get the running clock.
So we're just minutes away, about a minute and a half away from the start of this second half, John. We're going to be kicking off to East Peoria. I think, do you start getting your players ready to play three quarters? Because, next week got Dunlap, and you got, I believe, Morton after that. Got Pekin in there, and then you've got
Washington and Limestone to finish up.
Yes, and I think we've come a long ways. but I think you still got to get those guys used to playing for at least 3 quarters right now. And East Peoria is they're not gonna give up.
Yeah, and you don't want to get to week 8 and be in a setting where you could be playing for a conference championship and you can't go 4 quarters.
Right. I think right now we're sitting awfully well right now with the Metamora, the way things are, defensively, offensively, special teams. We really haven't missed a beat when we bring in these guys because of an injury. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be back to being, barring any more injuries, we're going to be back to being healthy because we're going to start getting some guys back. And, that's just going to make us better in the long run.
And you'll see that sideline continue to grow. The Metamora way, they bring the sophomores along, give them their birds a little bit at a time throughout the season, and by the end of the season we'll see almost the entire sophomore roster also dressing. So we'll see some numbers that might not be listed in the program now joining us. We started the season with, I believe, 11 sophomores dressing out, along with the 60-plus upperclassmen. They added 3 or 4 more to the sideline tonight, so that's filling in, and we'll see how some of those also fill some slots and get some playing time.
So Metamora getting ready to kick off to start this second half, and you're not going to see a Metamora let up. We don't want to have anything happen to us like what happened to Dunlap last week against Morton.
No, yeah, Dunlap, I think there was an emotional letdown. Dunlap had a serious injury in that game. One of their sophomores who was playing up and playing very well, his helmet came off in the middle of a play, and they thought he had a dislocated jaw, and turned out to be a concussion, a laceration. But I think that emotionally kind of took its toll on Dunlap, seeing a teammate leave the field under those circumstances, and Morton didn't give up, kept bringing it.
Yeah.
Which was a trait that Morton had been in that situation the previous year against Washington, and came all the way back, just continuing to pound the ball. So they were prepared for that. So
Isaiah Blumenshine again, he's kind of become known for that here this year. Big play on special teams on the opening second half kickoff.
Yeah, Isaiah's still trying to crack that lineup on the offensive line, so making a name for himself there.
Boy, Chase is really coming up there and filling. And then Deathridge
Chase
was in on there
Tyler
too.
Deathridge.
Now, I saw it looked like Christensen kind of came across the line of scrimmage and forced that play back down inside where the linebackers were able to fill.
Yep. And we're not giving up a lot with Christensen going back in. They're real close to the same size guys. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So East Peoria back to spreading it out, trying to find a seam there.
It just is too slow. It's not. Tyler Deathridge in again on that tackle.
Yep.
That brings up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 12.
Tell you what, that D-line really penetrating right to second, so we got to not give up a big play on here on a pass.
3rd and about 13 for East Peoria. Passing situation for the Red Raiders.
Going deep, Adam Parr in coverage.
No call.
Incomplete, brings up 4th down.
The wide receiver gets up limping.
East Peoria's punt team will come on.
They ran off all of a minute 30 on that possession.
It must have been in the hurry-up offense.
Again, Parr and Dakota Durr back deep for the Redbirds right at the 50-yard line. Metamora looks to have good field possession to start this second half.
McVeigh puts a little pressure on him.
Nice job by Parr just to catch the ball at the 46-yard line where Metamora will have it in Red Raider territory to start this second half.
This shows what they're like, though. I mean, 47 has to bump Parr after he makes a fair catch. I mean, Like Andrew Dixon's coming in at quarterback.
Metamora offense back on the field. A little bit of a delay getting the Metamora game ball back out there. A chance Turbush split out wide to the right. The ball was snapped, and I don't know that Andrew Dixon at quarterback was prepared for that. The ball went past him, kind of looked past him like, is this live? To chase this one down. He gets it covered up. He's going to bring up a 2nd and long.
2nd and 27, I believe.
Wow.
Okay. Not the start we were looking for here.
Nope.
Let's clean it up.
Do we pick it up?
Roth in motion.
I bet we do.
Give us Novotnik off the right side.
Kyle Reeder, by the way, said that he feels pretty good now. He thinks he could go, but they won't let him. So that's a good sign.
Okay.
No use putting him in there now. Metamora up 28-0.
Senior, number 37, Noah Johnson checking in.
Chad Roth goes over and gets set.
Give us to Novotnik again. Cuts back. Still shy of the original line of scrimmage.
A punt.
Brings up 4th and about a 17.
We don't do much of that on the varsity level either. We were giving Kurt some harassment about punting last week, and we don't do that much here.
No, this will be our first punt of the evening.
Dakota Durr into punt.
Nice.
Gets off a good one.
Jake Smith down. Boom! That's our ball out of the way, Jake Smith. That kid, he drilled
Big
that kid.
hit by the senior, Jake Smith.
Jake Smith, that a baby. Out of the way, Jake. Boys are all over him. That was huge. That was huge.
Well, Scott, you thought we'd pick it up. Is that what you meant?
Well, yeah. That's kind of sending a message, isn't it?
What number got that?
7.
Covered.
7? Was it 49?
Chucky
There goes Chucky Novotnik outside. He steps out of bounds, and they're going to throw a flag.
It's on us. They're definitely not making it easy on us tonight, guys. That isn't even close to a hold.
We're calling a block in the back.
He was locked up on his shoulder pads facing him. There's no way that was a block in the back. It's right in front of me.
So that'll make it a 1st and 9.
Well, there's a call you won't make a whole lot this season. 1st and 9. Smith back in for Turbush.
That might be a hitman, boy. Jake Smith, that might be a hitman shirt.
If it's not, he'll ask for a recount.
I bet it will be.
Goes Andrew Dixon, breaks a tackle, and picks up a couple yards. That'll make it a 2nd and about 8.
Dixon, the ball carrier. The middle, tackled by 57, Joseph.
Roth and Smith off. Dakota Durr, Chance Turbush back into the game. Durr back to pass. Looks for Novotnik underneath, just short. Stops the clock, brings up a 3rd down, 3rd and 7.
Sessions will be closing at the end of the 3rd quarter. Pizza now is $1.50.
3rd and 7, just inside the 20-yard line. Turbush and Smith both split out. Novotnik in the backfield with Dixon.
I think there's confusion.
Dixon back to pass. Steps up. He's just going to tuck it and run.
And he'll have a
First down.
very close to a Metamora first down.
First down.
I just love the way the Metamora quarterbacks have looked downfield, and when there's nothing there, they take off, and they've been able to pick up first downs.
And it's not a panic run. It just spread out and finds a seam. That brings up a 1st and goal.
Dakota
Number
over in the slot there.
39, Ben Friday at tight end on the left side. White on the right.
Giving it to Dakota.
Oh, now they fake that jet and then give it to Novotnik, and he gets down to close to the 5-yard line where it'll be 2nd and goal. 7:15 to go.
And the jet worked very well with Parr early. It was there with Dakota as well.
Go back with 84 trap there. And
Oh, that's going to be a Metamora touchdown, and they're going to.
They're calling holding again. Look at the late hit on 23 too. That's amazing. These guys are pathetic.
Flag on the play.
Good.
Holding.
How you doing there?
Number 63, Fredericks.
We're not making it down there.
I didn't know that the public address announcer could call out a high school name on a penalty.
Not the most appropriate thing to do.
No, that's not very appropriate to call out a kid. And how did he know which one it was anyway?
Takes the ball back to the 18-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
2nd and goal from the 18-yard line for Metamora.
Fake to Novotnik, rolls, hits Ben Friday. That one's dropped just outside the 10-yard line. Brings up a 3rd and goal from the 18.
Pass intended for number 39, Friday. Ball's incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down.
A little bit behind him, still a catchable ball.
We've seen tougher ones caught tonight.
Yeah. Do we come back with the double handoff?
He's not set up for it. So
No.
We're going to throw. It's like
Dakota Durr at wing. Turbush goes in motion. He's got Turbush.
Touchdown, Metamora. Caught Chance Turbush in stride in the end zone. Beautiful pass from Andrew Dixon.
Turbush came in motion and then turned up and just blew past the defender.
Yeah, these Peoria guys got their hands on their hips, walking around with their heads down.
Wow. That makes the score 34-0 in Metamora.
Good snap. Ball's down.
Makes
Preston
it
Van Meeghem is good.
35-0 Birds.
6:38 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Well, despite the offsides, the holding penalties, and all the things we've had to endure on that drive, we were still able to score.
Continuing to battle through some odd things.
Yes. I'm still trying to figure out how the block in the back when Jack had him locked up. I don't understand that. He was locked up shoulder pad just like he's taught. It all started with Jake's big hit.
Yes, it did.
Oh my gosh, Lewandowski, that a baby? That was a hit right there, baby. That was all him.
Number 43, Brent Lewandowski on big hit there.
They may have to give out two Hitman T-shirts. That was pretty darn good.
East Peoria kid popped right back up too.
These Peoria kids have to wonder, why do we always end up on Metamora's highlight reels? Brad Herman's hit in the East Peoria game a few years ago was a YouTube wonder.
Sent the kid back to Florida.
Yeah, he's probably still there.
Still walking around with a helmet.
That's good play. Chase Scott again. And Brandon White.
Give us the number 46, Ryan Potendike for East Peoria.
A pickup of about 2 yards for East P.
That was a great hit by Lewandowski, guys. That was real good. Like seeing that. Oh, somebody's got a bell. Holy cow. You can just see the step in East Peoria. They know this is over.
2nd and 8. Safely back to pass.
Outside the pocket. It's a good play by their guy, by their quarterback. Great play by, is that Austin McVeigh maybe?
What's that? That was Deathridge.
Was that Deathridge?
Yes. McVeigh was having some pressure, but no. Deathridge has had a well of a game tonight, guys. Really filling. And so is Chase.
Those 3 senior linebackers really bringing a lot of leadership.
And Jordan Casino's in for Rutherford at corner. And
White applying some pressure there.
Oh!
Andrew Christensen
got him a screen
being
pass.
held.
They don't
See
call
the
that
jersey
holding,
pulled
though, do
away
they?
right in front of the official. No call.
Look at his jersey's all tore up there. They're pulling it all over the place, and they're not going to call that, though.
If we still had tearaways, Andrew Christensen would be on the sideline getting a new shirt right now. So 4th down, punt team on. Punched out of bounds. Nice field position.
I would assume Burke will come in now.
Metamora will take over at the 40. Does appear to be Burke in the huddle down there on the sideline.
I bet that's a fun game to watch.
Okay then.
Somebody has to win. That's the motto for the night.
Well,
Limestone Canton. Adam Parr into the game, split out wide to the right. Brian Burke at quarterback. Gives to Chucky Novotnik off the right side.
Pickup of about 3 yards on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7. Maybe a gain of 2.
Okay, we got number 58. We don't have that listed on here. Whose number is in it? Guard.
Is it Aaron Roos?
I don't know. He's not listed on the program here. Yeah, I think it is.
Probably one of our mystery sophomores.
Okay.
So East Peoria guessed right on that one.
Give us to Novotnik for a short loss.
Makes it a 3rd and 10.
Jared Rutherford come in the ball game.
Rutherford in motion. Give us to Rutherford. Jet off the left side. He'll have the first down, taken out of bounds, and they let off.
Got him in there and got a carry, show some of his speed. That's his first carry of the season.
We needed 10, got 11.
And stop the clock.
With 4:11 to go here in the third quarter, Metamora up.
Dunlap Washington's tied
14-14.
Ryan McGowan checks back in at guard for Roos.
Giving McGowan a little bit of a breather, playing defense.
Double duty tonight. Unexpected double duty.
Yeah.
Parr in motion. Give goes to Novotnik. He bends it back to the left.
Charlie will run out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. We're going to say he's inside the 3 at the 1-yard line. Boy, oh boy, did they really? That
They're
is such
biting hard on that one.
That is such a deceiving play, though, because that guy goes in motion, and sometimes we give it, and when we don't and give it back to Charlie, that is very tough to defend.
And there were a lot of East Peoria defenders just flat-footed trying to find the ball. Noah Johnson back into the game. Burke keeps.
Touchdown, Metamora. That'll make the score 41-0 Metamora. And hey, let's face it, guys, nobody's done this to East Peoria this year.
Yeah, Washington gave up, what, 300 and some yards on offense to them. We had one drive where they got down getting ready to score and they fumbled. Now the whole game. Nice snap.
Good snap and hold.
Nice kick, nice hold.
Brings us to 42-0 with 3:50 remaining in the third, which will bring up the running clock. Now we should start to see a lot of rotation. A lot of fresh jerseys coming in. We're going to see a change on the kickoff team right away. Preston Van Meegum will kick off.
Got a second team kickoff out there.
How many high school teams around have a second team kickoff?
Not too many, but Metamora does. Yeah, Goforth, Wood, Zimmerman, Isaiah's still out there. Steve Greer.
Patrick Hubert.
Patrick
Sean
Hubert.
Thill. Van Meegum kicks away, down to about the 12. Thill was knocked down, got back up in the play.
Good job there. Good job, guys.
Held him inside the 25-yard line.
Wes and Thill there. Wes Goforth and Thill. That away.
Thill will remain in the game on defense.
And Jimmy Beaver coming in.
Okay.
Great job tonight.
McVeigh,
On the Metamora. McVeigh had a great game tonight.
Great job.
Dave, you could just pick a name out of the hat, and they probably had a good game tonight.
I didn't see too many. I didn't see any that had a bad game.
Looks like we still have the 3 senior linebackers in there, guys, and the other 8 are all fresh jerseys. A lot of juniors.
Oh, fumble, fumble. Oh! It's our ball, our ball.
They're saying Metamora ball, but his knee was down when he picked it up.
No, they're running the clock. On one side, they ran the clock as if it was just still second down, and the white hat comes in and points Metamora ball.
Way to go, Chase! Yeah!
Chase is pretty jacked down here. That way, Melindy.
So it is Metamora ball. 1st and 10, about the 25-yard line.
.216 to go here in the third quarter.
Travis Aarons into the backfield. J.R. Dixon at wing.
All right, nice hard run. Nice hard run.
Pickup of almost 5 yards on that play.
They hit him right when he got right to the line of scrimmage. That was a good hard effort.
There's Aaron's on the carry.
Got Blumenshine and Joe Barrow in there, and Henry Breitbarth. Josh Rector in the ball game. Some confusion here going on. Let's go, guys.
2nd and 6.
And that was going to be a good play too.
Flag before the play.
You know what? East Peoria, even all the way back to JFL, they're not very good stopping the counter.
Clock is still running on the penalty.
That was pretty evident we moved on that one.
Well, we had new guys in there, and they're trying to get set and getting in there the first time, and
a little anxious.
Yep, that was going to be a good play too. Maybe we'll come back and run it. And we did, but they were ready for it this time.
We're going to give him progress to the 30-yard line.
I think
J.R. Dixon spun out of that one and then couldn't regain his balance.
Help him up. Help him up. Okay, good. He got hit in the elbow. Might be the last play of the quarter. Brandon Balk in at center, getting some much needed reps there. That'll be the last play of the quarter there, guys.
That'll be the end of the third quarter. Metamora leads 42-0 as we go into the fourth quarter. We'll take this time out for a station break.
At MTCO digiMAX, we work hard to give our community the best value in internet, TV, and voice. But the big network conglomerates we have to pay for TV content don't share our community values. Every year, they demand higher and higher fees and force us to pay for channels few people watch. We hope you'll understand we're doing our best to keep our costs down and your rates low. Visit tvonmyside.com to learn more about these unfair charges.
Excuse me, welcome back to East Peoria. Metamora has the 42-0 lead like we've talked about. Metamora will face a 3rd and 20.
Tell you what, hey Scott.
Yes.
Once again, those cheerleaders are already in better shape than you are. All those push-ups.
Oh, now Dave.
I think we need to, after the game, have you do some of them for all those touchdowns.
Well, they still don't have the clock set.
Look at the crowd over on East Peoria, guys.
I wouldn't call that a crowd.
That's about what we have at a JFL game, guys. Wow.
It's a gathering.
Yeah. Sam Ryan's the other tight end that's in there now.
Still having clock issues. There we go.
Yeah.
So Andrew Dixon in the backfield with Jared Rutherford. A little trouble on the mesh on the handoff there. Ball was on the ground, got it covered up. Brings up a 4th and long.
So Metamora will face a 4th and about 20.
Dixon in the backfield with Travis Aarons. He's got Sam Ryan releasing.
Oh.
And Jared Rutherford coming underneath, just overthrown. Let's turn over on downs. East Peoria ball. About the 35-yard line.
Clock continues to run, 11 minutes to go.
So we'll reset some of these jerseys out here now on defense. Ethan Hogan, defensive tackle. Wes Goforth, linebacker.
Wood.
Grant Wood.
Grant Wood.
Lincoln Garber. Jordan Cancino. Sean Thill. Who's the other safety there, Zim? Is that Noah Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, number 37. That's it. That's it. Beaver and Ethan Hogue there, and Steve Greer.
Isaiah Blumenshine in. So East Peoria continues to run with their starters on offense, trying to find a little something here. A little positive at the end of the night.
Jordan Cancino make the tackle there. Yeah, now they'll get some stats and think they did something.
Big run there for number 5, Matt Doherty off the right side. So that gets them into Metamora territory. First down, 45-yard line. Doherty again off the right side. Well, we said that East Peoria left their starters in there, but I wonder if they changed their center. They're having a little trouble with that shotgun. Everything's on the ground. Good time to apply some pressure there and see if we can come up with the ball. East Peoria trips left. Doherty's the deep back behind Hafley. Bad snap again. Bounces to Doherty past the quarterback. He turns a busted play on a bad snap, takes it right up the middle, 45 yards for a touchdown. Just like they drew it up.
Exactly how you draw it up.
I'll give Doherty credit, he ran hard. Not the tackling that Coach Grebner wants to see when he puts the reserves in there.
No, no, he didn't. So that makes it 42-7.
8:32 remaining in the fourth quarter. And a unit we haven't seen since the beginning of the night, the kickoff return team. Have to remind people who are on it, and if we're switching some people up, which it looks like we are. Number 2, Chance Turbush. Number 29, Colton Gregory. Deep backs replacing Durr and Parr.
Tony Bell and Hubert and Thill.
Lincoln Garber.
Lincoln Garber. I imagine they'll probably try to onside it maybe.
Coach is reminding that front line to be ready for anything short. Kicks away. Colton Gregory under it at the 15. Gets about 10 on the return, out to the 25.
So with just over 8 minutes to go here in the ball game, Metamora clinging to a 42-7 lead.
Clock continues to run. Andrew Dixon back on at quarterback.
Another player comes off the field hobbled. Who's this?
Got by me, I didn't even see him.
Number 30, Grant Wood.
Grant Wood. Oh.
Dixon gives to Rutherford up the middle.
Wow.
Nothing there.
That's pretty sad.
Brings up a 2nd and 12. Andrew Dixon, Travis Aarons in the backfield.
That's not too excited. He's hollering over at their coach saying, you know, we got our 2nd, 3rd string in, you got your starters.
Why would you leave your starters out there when you're getting beat 42-7 with 7 minutes to go in the ball game? And then you wonder why every year you're at the doormat of the Mid-Illini.
Pretty classless. Real classless. I mean, we got our 2nd group in there and they got their starters, and you couldn't.
Well, they got a couple new guys out there, but not many.
76 is still out there. The linebackers are still out there.
Dixon back looking for Patrick Hubert. He's
gotta
wrapped
get
up
rid
in the
of that.
backfield.
We got a punt.
Dakota Durr will be on to punt.
Dixon needed to get rid of that. Call it better.
Only 10 on the field on the punt team.
Alex Giesler going in the ball game. Wendy was supposed to be in there.
So Metamora takes a timeout.
So after the timeout, we'll still have a 4th and long. Senior Andrew Christensen on the long snap, Dakota Durr punting, and number 5, sophomore Alex Giesler getting an opportunity, getting the varsity rep here.
I'll tell you what, every time we play these guys, they just come back with the same stuff.
Durr from his own end zone.
Oh.
About 40 yards in the air. Roll sideways towards the sideline. Not bad from his own end zone. So East Peoria will take over at the 40. No return. It's like a lot of the same jerseys that we just had on the last defensive series. Giesler remains in the game at linebacker. Ball's loose in the backfield. Giesler scoops.
Picks it up, and he's going to score.
The sophomore with a scoop and score, Alex Giesler.
That's 4 touchdowns this week for him.
That's sweet, Alex.
It was all white jerseys. There was nobody to beat. Little confusion on the extra point. Who's supposed to be on?
7 times tonight that we've kicked an extra point.
I wonder if that was a change after Dallas was hurt.
Might have been.
There might have been a little shakeup in that offensive line.
So that makes the score 49-7.
4:38 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And Preston Van Meeghem on to kick off again. Now Alex Giesler can't get off the field. He's going to stay on for the kickoff team. Somebody missed an opportunity on that punt. He's taking advantage. Kick goes to the 20. Brought out to about the 35.
He's in on the tackle. Giesler was. And so
Patrick
was Wes
Hubert.
Goforth and Hubert.
And Alex Giesler on the stop.
There's a good tackle.
And with just under 4 minutes to go with a running clock,
Wes
East
Goforth
Peoria goes to their backup
Ethan Hope.
quarterback.
So East Peoria really had one drive tonight.
Yep.
Give off the right side. Giesler and Lewandowski. Ethan Hogue on the stop. Brings up a 3rd and long for East Peoria.
John Rebholt's coming in the ball game, sophomore.
Quarterback keeps off the left side.
Ethan Hogue again.
Ethan Hogue.
Nice play by the junior lineman.
Now Ethan Hogue in the open field running down a quarterback.
He's
I got him.
He's shifty.
Yeah.
Nimble feet.
Wrestling's a great thing for kids like that.
Yes.
Phil and Lincoln Garber on the.
Lincoln Garber fields the punt cleanly at about the 41, 42-yard line.
Nice
They're gonna give it
job.
at the 40.
Nice job to come up and catch it.
Not give up any more
Nice
yards.
catch. Nice catch. Isaiah, you lost your shoe. Isaiah Blumenshine running out on field, a shoe fell off.
He doesn't care. He wants to play.
Doesn't need the shoe.
He lost his tooth during the winter. Now he lost his shoe.
Andrew Dixon, the quarterback, gives to Travis Aarons. Nothing there. We're down to about 1:30 on the clock.
I know number 7 and 44 have played the whole game, so that's. We just got to run the clock out.
Give this to Ahrens again. Not getting a lot of help right now.
So they're just under a minute now to go, just 57 seconds.
Pat's trying to run the clock out.
3rd and 15. Andrew Dixon will run that clock down, snap it when he has to. They give us to Ahrens again off the right side.
But now Metamora will be able to just take a knee and.
Nope, we're just going to come off
Very impressive win for the Redbird program tonight. Freshmen looked really good tonight. Big night for Metamora football.
And we got some kids in too that normally don't get to play, so that's good. Pretty close to almost as many as last week when it didn't look like that was going to happen.
So the final here at Eastside, 49-7 Metamora.
We'll be back in a few minutes with the end of the game stats and an interview with head coach Pat Ryan.
All right, and here we are with your end of the game stats. Starting with East Peoria, Penendick had 5 carries for -1 yards. Hafley had 3 carries for 35 yards. Hornung had 7 carries for 25 yards. Dougherty had 3 carries for 60 yards and 1 touchdown. Stewart had 1 carry for no yards. Foster had 1 carry for no yards. And Sinclair had 1 carry for -1 yards. They had a total of 21 carries for 118 yards, 1 touchdown with an average of 5.6 yards per carry. On passing, Hafley was 6 for 10 for 71 yards. Receiving, Mullern had 3 receptions for 30 yards. Schofield had 2 receptions for 6 yards. And Kinsman had 1 reception for 35 yards. They had a total of 189 yards of offense. They had 4 rushing first downs, 2 passing and 2 penalty for 8 first downs, and a second half time of possession of 9 minutes and 32 seconds. Now for Metamora. Dorr had 3 carries for 53 yards and 1 touchdown. Novotnik had 22 carries for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Burke had 7 carries for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. Parr had 1 carry for 14 yards. Dixon had 8 carries for 6 yards. Rutherford had 3 carries for 13 yards. Ahrens had 5 carries for 3 yards. And J.R. Dixon had 1 carry for -10 yards. They had 50 carries for 299 yards and 5 touchdowns, with an average of 6 yards per carry. On passing, Burke was 2 for 3 for 22 yards. Dixon was 3 for 7 for 42 yards and 1 touchdown. On receiving, Friday had 1 reception for 18 yards. Dorr had 2 receptions for 15 yards. And Turbush had 2 receptions for 31 yards and 1 touchdown. They had a total of 64 yards receiving and 363 yards of total offense. They had 15 rushing first downs, 5 passing for 20 first downs, and a second halftime possession of 14 minutes and 28 seconds. Your end of the game score, Metamora 49, East Peoria 7.
Welcome back to East Peoria. We're here with head coach Pat Ryan. Coach, offensively, defensively, you guys looked really sharp tonight.
Well, we played a good first half. And we did give up 2 or 3 plays in a row where they had a chance to score down there, and we turned it on them. And then us, the 2-minute drill finally, we did a nice job with that. Coach D's done a really nice job coordinating that 2-minute drill, and so that went really well. But it was a good turnaround. They're a physical team. I mean, been other than some injuries, I think we got a couple guys boogered up. We did play well, Scott, but we're going to have to stay on it for 4 quarters from here on out. I think we kind of lost our edge a little bit in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I thought so, maybe a little bit, but really you had to be awfully happy with your offensive line, your defensive line in the first half, and then the play of Brian Burke really was impressive, along with Dixon also.
Both quarterbacks played well. Both quarterbacks made plays when things were breaking down. Both quarterbacks threw the ball well, and there's no egos. You know, they're just wanting each other to have success, and that's when it's fun to coach, when the kids are about the other guy.
I thought, when Garrison went down, he brought in McGowan. I thought McGowan, he had to play both sides of the ball and did an outstanding job. You really didn't lose anything by bringing him in either, did you?
Well, Ryan's had a lot of game experience on that side of the ball, so yeah, that's important, and you got to have depth. But obviously, Dallas's major concern is not anything leg related. He had a finger that they couldn't get back in place, but I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to be too substantial for him.
Big win for you guys tonight. We'll keep this short. I know you want to get back to the bus. And get
we want to get in the traffic jam.
Yeah, so we'll let you go. Good win tonight, and we'll see you at home next week against Dunlap.
Thanks, Scott.
Bye. So that'll conclude it from East Peoria tonight, where Metamora was victorious 49-7. We'll see you next week when Metamora plays host to the Dunlap Eagles. Good night.